Hello. Welcome
Welcome back,
back,
everybody.
everybody. Hi.
How's everyone doing?
Episode 23.
Howdy.
We got Jennifer Lopez back here with us today.
Jennifer Lopez is here with us again today. I hope that you guys are having a good time. I got a Lagunitas, little something something.
I have got a leftover Miller Lite. Someone brought them and left them here.
Oh, I thought you meant leftover like it was already opened and partially drinking from last night.
That would be disgusting.
Yeah.
You just wake up and finish off a beer.
Been there. What do you got today, Jennifer?
I have a salsa coffee in my salsa cup that I reused
What the
with
fuck is a
some
salsa coffee?
espresso coffee.
So this is it looks like coffee that
Espresso?
she poured in a salsa jar.
So it's
Yummy.
just regular coffee.
Just regular coffee
Just
that was
coffee.
in a salsa jar.
Coffee.
Actually, it was
Salsa
kimchi
coffee.
jar. It
Oh,
says kimchi. So
kimchi
kimchi
coffee.
coffee. Well,
Ooh,
cheers, everybody. Here we go.
coffee.
Bink. All right. I'll go ahead and we'll just pop right into it then. We'll start fucking talking about shit. This is
Yeah.
something that I just learned about. I don't know if you've heard about this or not. Have you heard of digital dementia?
No.
No? So
I've heard of
digital
regular
dementia
dementia.
is like what'd you say?
I've heard of regular dementia.
Yeah. Yeah, like old people get it. Digital dementia is this new thing that kids are getting. And it's basically like because of the rise of social media and everybody being stuck on their phones, children's brains aren't working as well as they used to be.
Huh.
Can you put me
Okay.
this, Hennifer? She's looking right now. While she's
Oh, okay,
looking,
okay,
I'm going to
okay.
take a drink of this delicious beer.
Yeah.
So basically, resource is the National Library of Medicine stating the underlining uh, aspect of what dementia is: brain damage that impairs cognitive function, surpassing natural aging effects, usually happens naturally with aging, but they're finding that the digital media overuse impacts brain development, especially with growing individuals, especially cognitive and inhibitory control, attention, memory, and reasoning, essential for adapting to dynamic environments. Early exposure to fast-paced media can impair motor skills, spatial awareness, problem solving, and language learning. Neuroimaging studies reveal that environmental factors like screen usage affect brain networks controlling social, emotional behavior, and executive functions. Over reliance on smartphones diminishes gray matter in key brain regions, affecting cognitive and emotional regulation.
So I guess your phone is making you stupider. Your mom was right
Yeah.
when she's like, it's that fucking damn phone.
Yeah. I didn't have a phone.
I didn't have a phone either when I was growing up.
I mean,
I know.
technically, we would be like the last generation that didn't have phones growing up. Technically, you're Gen Z, right? Dom, are you still a millennial?
I think he's a millennial. He's like right at
I
the
think I'm
cutoff.
like, yeah, depends on which website you look at.
Let's look it up. What's
Yeah.
the millennials? The age of Aquarius?
Well, technically, your brother is a Gen Z, and
Yeah, for sure.
he didn't have a cell phone because he was born, what, 2000? He
Yeah.
didn't.
Dang, Dom, you're right at the cutoff. So you are Gen Z because you're 97, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
so
But then like
Gen
look at
Z.
Gen
look
Z.
at other websites and it might change it too.
But that little cusp between 97 and I want to say like your brother's age, 2000, because they didn't have phones just yet going into elementary, is like the
Yeah.
last generation between 97 to 2000 that didn't have phones growing up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of my friends we also got phones really late when we were growing up. Like my parents didn't get me a phone until I think my junior year of high school, and it was a flip phone, and I
Yeah,
had that for like
I remember I
two
saved
or
up
3 years.
all summer long one year, like doing fucking yard work and shit just so I could buy my first shitty flip phone from Boost
Yeah.
Mobile.
Yeah. So
I was like,
we were late, and not a lot of people had phones growing up
yeah,
anyway. So
it was a better time then.
it was.
You would just go
Yeah.
outside and knock on someone's door.
Yeah, we would do anything. I remember all the time we would be at our great grandma's house, and we would just like go outside and like, you want to play something?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and just like make up a game right here.
Are the old school throwing rocks at cars passing by?
No, we
Anyone?
weren't fucking terrible pieces of shit. We didn't do that.
Yeah, what
Oh,
the fuck is your problem?
And at first, like, yeah, like you get a brick and you drop it from a window and someone's walking past you. You right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
She's just doing hate crimes.
or when you after school you'd go to the skate park or your local park and run away from your little sister that has to follow you.
I never did that.
We don't have any
Good
sisters.
time.
Thankfully, I never ran away from you guys when I was supposed to be taking care of you.
That's true.
I did purposefully burn you with spoons, though. Do you remember that?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to heat up the spoon underneath the hot water, and then I was doing the dishes while they were like putting the dishes away, and I would
Yeah.
stick it on their hands, fucking super hot spoon, burn the shit out
Right.
of them.
I mean, attention span alone is like a huge aspect of this because with all this like media and like ads now, they have to have like an ad shown to a kid within like 30 seconds. So their attention span is like super diminished from that. Like, oh, 30 seconds, what can you see? What can you get? And they'll want to buy it or they'll want to watch this show.
Sometimes I got to
Yeah.
turn new TV shows off because there's too many cuts.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
like there's three stories, but it's like only 5 seconds at a time.
yeah, and they like keep fucking cutting. And something I've also noticed recently, I don't know if you've paid attention to this, but if you like, especially for fucking Netflix, they did it a lot for Stranger Things, where they're like, go over the story again. We're
Yeah.
watching a story and like 10 minutes in, like somebody's talking about what's happening again. And
And
it's
they got to
because people can't
re-explain
stay
the
off their
whole
fucking
show.
phones. Yeah.
While
Yeah.
they're watching a show.
Yeah. So it's like definitely ruining people's cognitive abilities. I heard that this generation, apparently right underneath us, is the first, or maybe the one underneath them. I guess I don't know how many fucking generations there's been, but is that first generation in like a long time that's actually dumber than the one that came before it. Usually we're
Yeah.
like getting smarter and smarter and smarter, but this next one has just been so fucking dumbed down and just fed so much bullshit that they're just like not fucking smart anymore.
I'm not
Yeah.
calling you dumb. I think you're super smart, whoever you are.
I don't think he was calling. Oh, no, I think they're dumb.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are
Yeah.
watching this, no, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, isn't that fucking crazy, bro?
Another
Yeah.
thing I'm noticing is when like making friends now, I feel like is a bit harder for everyone because you're just so used to being on your screen and like that's
Yeah.
how you're interacting. So when you're with people, you're just kind of like
Yeah, nobody wants to be
Yeah.
social anymore, right?
like when you go
Yeah.
out, it's either
I have a friend who he was talking to me the other day and he said that like he's been trying to go on dating apps and all the matches that he's getting, they'll talk for a little bit and then he'll just be asking questions like trying to get to know them and they're like, "You're really boring. All you do is ask questions." Like, "We're complete strangers. I just want to know who you are."
What am I supposed to do though? Also, like,
tell
Yeah.
you.
how do you get to know people now? I don't even
You
know.
switch
I don't
over
know.
to the gemstone game. What is that? Where
Candy
you're
Crush?
Candy Crush. Yeah. Hey, let's play Candy Crush together. Or fucking
Roblox.
She
Minecraft.
chooses a very easily one player game.
I know the old. I
Like
know
the
it's
most
not
one
even a
player
two-player
game there
game.
is.
You're like, oh, you can't play with me, but
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm playing Candy Quest.
But if you really want, you can come watch.
Yeah, my
I'm
phone has
really
a
good.
lot of games on it, and the battery lasts a really long time.
Yeah, I make sure I replace the battery once a year. I charge it every night.
Yeah. It is weird, dude. I've had to fucking like trying to talk to kids now is like fucking so difficult. They're just like bored all
Yeah,
the time.
even like um maybe like 10 years ago, it was easy because there was like books and toys still. And so you could just do that. And now I'm like, what? You don't have any toys here. What am I supposed to do with you?
Yeah. What am I
Like
supposed to do
I
with you?
can't just
Get the
make
fuck
up
out of here.
enough like imagination stuff to keep you happy.
The
So
imagination, I think, is a thing of the past, dude. I don't know if kids have
yeah,
imagination anymore.
like it's yeah, playing pretend that doesn't happen. Nobody plays pretend.
There's too much real shit going on. That's why.
Yeah, we had no toys, but we had like a million toys in our mind.
That's a
I should
problem.
make a
These
few of
goddamn
those.
phones. Everybody's stuck inside now.
Yeah,
Nobody's going outside anymore. Maybe it's the CIA doing it, dumbing down society in general, so that way
maybe.
the
I
elites
love being
can
can
take
take
outside though.
over.
control.
Yeah. You have something to say?
Also, yeah, also from the study, it's stating like
Back to fucking the dementia thing.
Okay, it's
exposure
like
to
we
the
have
blue
something to
light
talk
from
about now.
screens um, for an accumulation more than 8 hours or just on and off disrupts the circadian rhythm, thereby impairing sleep quality, reducing sleep duration, and that can really affect your brain,
I've noticed. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in development when you're growing from a young age. If you're not sleeping well a good amount of time, it's going to affect how your brain develops.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that as well at work because I work on a screen. Sometimes if I'm doing like a lot of like tedious tasks where I'm like really close to the screen because I'm editing pictures, when I
Yeah.
come home, my eyes feel tired. But like when I close them, they're like restless almost.
Yeah.
It's like a weird thing to describe. Like my eyes are too tired to keep open, but like at the same time, like I can't sleep because my fucking I'm like seeing flashing lights and shit. It's so weird.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Um, you know in cartoons when people hit their head and then there's little birds that fly around like doo 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 doo. Have
Yeah.
you ever you know that's a real thing?
Yeah, it's called a concussion, dude.
No, 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 not that bad.
Oh.
The other day I hit my head when we were at jujitsu
And you saw
and
birds.
didn't see birds, but I like stood up for a second and I could see just things moving around. I was like, "What the fuck?
That's a
The
concussion.
fuck?"
You got a concussion. You
I did
got
not get a
fucking probably should have
concussion.
gone to the doctors.
You're concussed.
God
I'll be
damn.
fine. I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Holy shit. Just don't go to sleep.
I'd
Okay,
watch
moving
it.
on. Moving on. Let's move. So I've been looking into a lot of shit just for my favorite segment of the show. Uh, fucked up shit the government does. So
Yeah.
have you been hearing about the ticks that make you allergic to red meat?
Yes. Yeah, it's called alpha gal disease.
Yeah, alpha gal disease. Remember we
And
talked about previously the Lone Star ticks that got released from Plum Island? Not on purpose.
yes.
They say it was an accident. They were genetically modified ticks that accidentally got released from Plum Island, and that's like how a
Yeah.
lot of Lyme disease started in like the Midwest and stuff.
Hmm.
So I was looking up stuff that the government has done previously that is like in akin with releasing ticks into the wild.
Okay.
So see if you can look this up, Hennifer. Dominic, have you heard of Operation Big Buzz? Have you heard of that before?
I don't think so, no.
So, Operation Big Buzz was a 1955 operation conducted by the United States Army in Georgia to evaluate the feasibility of using mosquitoes as biological weapon delivery vectors. It tested the logistics of producing, loading, and dispersing unaffected mosquitoes to simulate how disease carrying insects might be deployed over a target area. So in
Okay.
1955, at Fort Benning, Georgia, the United States government took a bunch of fucking mosquitoes in a plane and they just dropped them over Georgia to see how
Yeah.
fast the mosquito population can spread. Do the
That's
delivery
insane.
methods go ahead?
That's insane.
Yeah, it's fucking insane,
There's
right?
there's still so many over there.
Approximately 300,000 mosquitoes were bred and loaded into munitions designed for aerial release. Planes and ground based dispersal devices released them over parts of Georgia, including rural areas near Fort Benning. Field personnel and traps measured dispersal range, survival rates, and biting behavior after release. So all of a sudden in 1955, everybody just got raided by fucking mosquitoes in Georgia.
Yeah.
So if they're doing those kind of tests in the 50s, who's to say that they're not releasing fucking,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
all of these
Yeah,
ticks
releasing
now.
ticks and shit
Yeah.
to do these things. Did you find it, Hennifer? Operation Big Buzz?
Yeah, it looks like we have a few articles from 2021 discussing how um, in Savannah, Georgia, the population are weary about things with COVID, and the correlation is just because of that Operation Big Buzz they were tested on back in the 50s.
So here's the follow up to it: Operation Dropkick. 1 year later, 1956, U.S. Army field experiments testing the feasibility of using mosquitoes as vectors for biological warfare. Conducted primarily in Georgia and Florida, the operation aimed to measure how effectively mosquitoes could be dispersed and locate human targets in varying distances.
So
So
they're
again, in
targeting now.
1 year later, yeah, they dropped mosquitoes, but this time they wanted to see how good they were at finding you and giving
Yeah.
you fucking diseases.
Yeah, because then who's to say that they can't like not necessarily train, but like get each mosquito like you're going for this person, you're going for this person, and maybe we're gonna send 20 after each person, and there you go. Now that's all we need.
Put it in with fuck, what was that one we were talking about? Operation Dragonfly. Remember? The DARPA
Yeah.
Operation Dragonfly where they stick little microchips on the fucking dragonflies.
You start mixing that.
You start
Now
mixing
you
that
you have
in.
no choice. You're microchipped and you didn't even know it.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Yeah.
This one, the Operation Dropkick, they released mosquitoes again from aircrafts, again from ground sources. But this time they were monitoring how far the mosquitoes traveled. And then they also got reports of how many people were reporting being bitten by mosquitoes. So how many people were like reporting, like, I got more mosquito bites this year than normal. That they were recording all of that shit.
Okay. My thing is, I don't think they could ever get me on something like that, only because I don't report anything
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
like,
there
yeah,
probably were
they
people at the
might.
naval base that they were like, hey,
Oh yeah, maybe.
come in and tell us how many times you get bit by mosquitoes. And the people,
Yeah, and then like, oh, you know what? That is weird. There's
yeah,
been a
yeah,
lot
exactly.
lately. Yeah. Okay, that makes way more sense because I was gonna say like I could get a mosquito bite. I'm not telling anyone. I'm just like, oh, whatever. I
I
got
mean,
a
I was giving
mosquito
my
bite.
dogs a bath earlier. I got bit by like three mosquitoes.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
who cares? It happens. We live outside sometimes.
I don't live outside. I live in a house.
It doesn't technically say what it was dispersed within those mosquitoes,
They didn't put anything in the mosquitoes.
just to kind of see where they went and
Yeah.
what they did,
It,
which is kind of hard
yeah.
to measure because if you didn't put anything in the mosquitoes, what are you technically measuring for these people? So maybe that might be the secret that's, redacted of what it was.
Ooh, good
Um,
point. Good point.
with the test aim determine if mosquitoes could effectively adapt to the environment after being released and exhibit their characteristic behavior of seeking blood mills. So
Yeah.
basically just seeing if they're able to withstand transportation in the plane and then being released into an environment that they're unfamiliar with to technically do their underlining survival of sucking blood. So they're just ideally it was just seeing, okay, can we get these mosquitoes, move them somewhere and they're able to still stay alive and do what they do.
Yeah.
Among them, 330,000 unaffected mosquitoes were dispersed into the population through aircraft releases and the utilization of E-14 bombs planes, allowing them to be released on the ground. The remaining portion of the mosquitoes was utilized to confirm their susceptibility to yellow fever infection, assess the viability of storing them, and evaluate the process of loading them into potential weapons. So basically, this was just the catalyst of moving these mosquitoes and how they could use them in biological warfare, not technically
Yeah.
using something to disperse them with. It's
Imagine they
just
had a
kind of to see
mosquito
No.
what they could
gun.
do.
The World War III's fought with mosquito guns. Yeah, they just fly over and just drop fucking hundreds of thousands of mosquitoes. So the
Yeah.
next time somebody
No.
says the U.S. government would never release ticks into the environment to test the
Yeah.
viability of alpha gal syndrome across its population, look up these
But
two fucking operations we just talked about.
that's a really good point, Hannaford, though. Like, why would they release all these and be like, we want to see where they go and how they act? And like, oh, well, how are you tracking them? Like, oh, we didn't think about that part. No, they
Yeah.
had something. They had a plan. They had some sort of idea what was going to happen, and that's just not being told to us.
Yeah, it looks like there was a widespread belief. Again, we're not sure that some of these mosquitoes were infected with yellow fever.
I mean,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. If people were breaking it out, see, Hennifer, see if you can look that up real quick. If there was an
Yeah.
outbreak of yellow fever in the 50s, mid 50s
Yeah.
in the South.
Do you know anybody with alpha gal?
No, I don't. Do you?
Yes, I do.
No
One.
way.
I know one for sure, and maybe another.
Did they
But
get it recently
he
or were they born with it?
no, he's had it since 2019.
Oh shit! And he got it from a
So
tick.
he yeah, from a tick.
Oh
So
Was
fuck!
he
he
on the
said that
East
he
Coast?
no, he's in the middle of the country
Where
in
they're all
Kansas
getting, where they're
City.
finding him and shit.
Yeah, and he said I don't know if he got it there or he also has a farm, so he could have gotten it at the farm. But either way, the farm's in Missouri. He lives in Kansas City. They're right next to each other, right? Um, But he said, yeah, he would eat red meat all the time before. And then 2019 came. He got bit by a tick. After that, he cannot eat red meat. It just, I don't know what it does exactly, but he's allergic to it. And he's tried so many different things. He's
I think
tried,
it does something to your gut biome.
sl- yeah,
Yeah,
he's
your
tried like
body can't
slowly
digest.
introducing new red meat again. Doesn't work. He's tried, it was this weird, like, Chinese doctor that he went to who was like, "Oh, well, all I have to do, I have to get a metal bar. I have to put it in your ear. You can't get it wet for like 2 weeks." And he was like, "Fuck it, I'll try it." And so he went there and did that. Didn't work, obviously. But yeah, he's tried a bunch of things and been like, "No, It won't work. I
Damn,
can't eat red
dude.
meat at all.
You can never eat steak, a delicious fucking ribeye ever again.
Nope. So when we went out with him one time, and we all went to like a burger spot, and he was like, do you guys have like chicken sandwich?" They were like, "No." "All right, I'll just get chicken tenders." And
Oh,
he just has to. Like, what's he gonna do?
that sucks. I don't know what I would do if I became allergic to red meat. I might kill myself, honestly. I love red
Yeah.
meat, dude.
Yeah. It's all well, I don't I rarely eat red meat because my wife only cooks chicken and turkey, but
What's
what
up with
a
women and
loser.
that shit, dude?
I
You
know.
made fucking turkey earlier, ground turkey. They love ground
Yeah,
turkey.
I know.
It's better
You
for
know
you.
what? I'm
Don't
I'm
do
gonna
that
be
to
a
me.
I'm gonna be a steak and hot dog every day kind of guy.
How many hot dogs are you eating?
Won't be there every day
Like
then. Your
5 or 6.
everyday won't last
Like a
long.
hot
Five
dog
or
salad, you
six.
chop it up.
That's so funny.
So in the same vein again, we're going back to these dispersal of insects. This is
Yeah.
in 1954, so 2 years before Operation
Big
Dropkick
Buzz.
and 1 year before Operation Buzzkill or whatever.
Yeah.
Operation Big Itch. See if you can look that one up, Hennifer. Operation Big Itch, 1954. U.S. biological warfare field tests designed to evaluate the use of fleas as vectors for disease delivery. Conducted
Okay.
at Dugway, providing proving ground. So this is again in Utah this time. So
Oh, so
Operation
they're
Big
doing this
Itch,
all over the country.
yeah. So Operation Big
Everywhere.
Itch took place among the Cold War because everybody was like afraid of biological weapons, so they're trying to do biological weapons research. And so
Yeah.
basically, the U.S. Army they released a ton of different fleas from E-14 and E-23 bombers,
Rat flea.
rat fleas specifically, by the way, the ones that carry fucking bubonic plague,
Yeah.
and they dropped them all over Utah. But the problem with this one was is they couldn't really like get their experiment down or get the results because the fleas just were super unpredictable. They spread like crazy. They started getting all over everything and everyone. So again, Operation Big Itch in 1954, the U.S. government dropped
Big
fucking
itch.
fleas from the sky in Utah.
Well, it's stating that they weren't technically infested with any type of disease. It was, again, more just of how these fleas would react with dispersal and being carried from, from original locations to where they want them to be in Utah. And it was more of the study of how their behavior and characteristics deployed after the fact to react to that environment. So, like, what would happen to them? Are they attaching? Are they spreading? Are they dying off because this is an environment they've never been in? So it's more of like the the fact of how the fleas react and how they can be used. So it's more of like the again the catalyst of how we can spread without technically spreading anything at the point.
But the fleas spread too
Yeah,
much, and
but
they weren't really able to fucking to see about it.
that's
One
the
thing
same
though
kind of
that
thing
happened
where
during it,
they're like, yeah, we're not doing anything. We just want to see where they go.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We just want to see how
Yeah.
well it would potentially spread. It's all right,
Yeah.
dude. You got bit by a couple fleas. They don't have bubonic plague. They happen to be rat fleas. They happen to be able to capture this type of disease, but they don't have it.
We don't know what happened to them after we released them,
Yeah,
but
and apparently there was a malfunction in one of the planes. And so one of the bombs got released in the aircraft, and a bunch of the fucking guys had a shitload of fleas all over them in the aircraft.
Yeah, they were saying that the E-14 was designed to accommodate 100,000. The E-23 had over 200,000. During the initial test of operation, the E-23s encountered significant malfunctions, leading to unintended flea release into the aircraft. The fleas bit the
it's like a
pilot,
cartoon.
bombarder, and observer. In the light of these incidents, the subsequent Big H test proceeded solely on the smaller E-14 planes. Guinea pigs are deployed as test subjects and positioned within a circular grid measure. So it was like a controlled
So they
environment
put
in
guinea
them.
pigs within probably like a certain square mileage around, and then they dropped all
Yeah.
the fleas, and they wanted to see how well the fleas dispersed across it.
Yeah.
Looks like
So
ultimately
Maybe they're
they
going for
stated
like a G-force kind of thing. You remember that movie? They were way ahead of their time.
they were actually trying to genetically modify guinea pigs to fight as
Yeah.
spies against the Soviets and the Cubans.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what? We put it like that. It's actually a good thing.
Yeah, we should be doing this more.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
Why
Let's
stop
drop
at guinea
more
pigs?
fleas from fucking planes.
Yeah.
so it looks like it is documented that they did have positive results from this experiment, demonstrating that the fleas were capable of withstanding the impact of being dropped from the plane and promptly seeking a host, which again is just seeing if the flea can, start sucking on blood.
Yeah.
Showcased its ability to cover a large targeted area equivalent to a battalion, so like a battleground, effectively disrupting operations
Look
for a
out.
duration of 1 day. So it looks like once they dropped them, they did exactly what they were supposed to do and could seize operations in that area where they dropped them at because it's so powerful. Like they're just people are just getting bit by fleas, so they just stop fighting or whatever the case may be. And they're active. They found that they were active for about 24 hours before they diminished, so they died off. But technically, even if that's true, they would still be able to spread within that 24 hours,
Fleas
even if
lay so many eggs too. Like
That's so hilarious.
you
What Hennifer just said of like, yeah, they're getting bit by fleas, so they're gonna stop fighting. So imagine just like a gang fight, and they're just like, whoa, 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 hold up, there are way too many fleas here right now.
well, dude, think about
We
that.
gotta
Think if
stop.
you're in a platoon of 50 people and then all of a
No, I'm
sudden there's
thinking street fights.
300,000 fleas all on you.
That makes sense. I'm thinking street fights where just some gangsters in an alley that are just like, there's so many fleas here, we can't be fighting.
Hey, so okay, maybe the police should use that as a form of crowd control
Yeah.
instead of using
I'm not promoting that.
instead of using like the long range acoustic device and like that other heat ray one that we were talking about. Throw water balloons full of fleas at people.
Hit them
Get
with
them
the
the,
flea bomb.
get 'em the fuck out of there right away, dude.
Yeah. The
That's
riots
so
immediately
funny.
stopped due to fleas.
Yeah, I mean that would be fucking that'd be fucked up though. Think if you really think about it. Think, like
Oh
you're
yeah, I
walking through
mean,
the forest, and then all of a sudden you're like, dude, I'm fucking so itchy. And then the other guy's like, dude, me too. I'm so fucking itchy. And then like
just
all
like
these little fleas are
thousands
just
of
all
fleas
over
all
you,
over. Yeah,
thousands. I think you
yeah.
could get anemia if you get bit by too many fleas. I swear,
You
you laughing
should.
at that, but I swear to God, look it up. You can get anemia.
Imagine she's just like, I fucking hate anemic people.
It's real because dogs
I
can get
know.
anemia if you don't get them treated for their fleas and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the scariest part about these two being the flea drop and the other one. What's the other one called?
The mosquito one, Operation Big Buzz,
Big Buzz and
Big
and this
Buzz,
one,
drop
Operation
kick, and big
drop
itch.
kick.
and the
Is
Big Itch.
Big itch.
pretty scary to know. I mean, yeah, like during this time was the Cold War, so they're scared like nuclear war. But knowing that the effects of this experiment were successful because ultimately they're just checking can we drop these insects on something and they are viable to continue to, spread disease, even though technically they're saying they're not infected and it worked. Like that's what's scary about it.
Yeah. So next time
Yeah.
somebody says that they got a box of ticks dropped off in their field, it doesn't sound too crazy after you've just heard about these three different fucking operations that have been declassified. And these are
And
just
then,
declassified ones. There's
Two of
other
them.
ones
and
that
you
are
know what?
classified.
It could even go even further and further of like, remember we talked about when they were making those the cockroaches and the ants and things that were had like the genetically modified or had computers and shit like
Yeah.
that. Imagine getting that dropped there. Now they are tracking everything all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. Today's episode is brought to you by PITW merch. I'm rocking the PITW beer company.
I'm rocking the original 3 PITW members.
So hit the link down in the description below. Pick up some merch. Link in the Instagram bio. Pick up some merch. All of your proceeds go to keeping this podcast running, providing you with information, news, technology, all the shit you like to see. We're just fucking pissing in the wind. All of your donations and purchases go for that. So moving on. We talked about Operation Buzzkill. We talked about Operation Big Itch. We talked about Operation Big Dropkick. All of these were dispersal operations for biological warfare.
Yeah.
So again, next time
Via insects like mosquitoes and ticks.
via small blood sucking insects. So next time somebody tells you that they have 500 ticks in their cornfield, maybe they were dropped off there by the CIA. We don't know. Dominic, have you ever heard of Operation Sea Spray?
Sea spray as in like ocean.
Yeah, sea spray like the ocean. Yeah.
It sounds familiar. I couldn't tell you what it is though.
Okay, so Operation Sea Spray was a secret 1950s U.S. Navy experiment in which bacterial aerosols were released over San Francisco to study the vulnerability of American cities to biological warfare. So during the
Same
early
time
Cold,
period.
yeah, same time
Yeah,
period.
same time
So
period.
during the early Cold War, U.S. military researchers sought to understand how biological agents might disperse in urban environments. Operation Sea Spray was part of a broader series of field tests simulating biological attacks. San Francisco was chosen because of its coastal fog and dense urban structure, provided useful model for aerosol behavior. So what they did
Yeah.
was they released two different types of bacteria. I don't know how to say these words, so I'm going to put them on the screen. Maybe you know how to say them. Seriatia marskescens. I'll spell it for you. Serratia marcescens.
Seracia?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the fuck to say it.
I don't
So
know.
that bacteria, and then another bacteria, Bacillus globigi, and these two are different types of bacteria that do different things. The first one turns into like slime. So when you see like pink slime on shit,
Ooh.
like that type of mold,
Yeah, they're
that's
like
what the first one
ASMR.
is. The second one,
Bacterium, bacteria, not mold.
the it's a bacteria. My bad. It's not a mold. And the second one is like a spore forming bacteria. So it makes like fuzz mold and shit like that. But
Yeah, yeah.
it simulates like what
Again, not
anthrax.
mold.
It simulates like what anthrax would do. And so Navy vessels stationed offshore sprayed massive quantities of both of those bacterium, both then believed to be harmless stimulants, but now we found out that they're not.
They're like, well, that was pretty fucked up.
Monitoring equipment across the city measured how the bacterial particles spread and persisted. The tests demonstrated that biological agents could travel extensively through populated areas.
Yeah.
So they
So
released a bunch of fucking spores, different types of bacterium spores over San Francisco in the 50s without anybody fucking knowing about it, just to see how well that type of biological warfare could spread.
it's also pretty fucked that they were like, okay, well, we need to like release this thing in an aerosol form. So how are we going to be able to do that without people noticing? And someone sitting in that boardroom was like, well, San Francisco is already pretty foggy. They won't even be able to tell. And so they just went out there and did it.
Yeah.
Like
Isn't
that's crazy.
that's
That's
so true.
like
That's so
that's
fucked.
literally like, oh well, I made a new green spray paint. How am I going to test it? Like, go spray paint that guy's lawn. He's not gonna tell. That's the same kind of shit where like it fuck up his stuff because no one's gonna notice.
Yeah, yeah. And no one, yeah, exactly. No one's gonna be able to tell. They already have so much fog. And have you ever been to San Francisco in the
Yeah,
morning time or like in the evening or even in like the midwinter? There's a shitload of fog and it blows over the whole
it
fucking
covers
city.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up right there.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Operation Sea Spray.
No
So
matter
next time,
what they're doing.
yeah.
So it looks like during that time, it was around September 20th to the 27th, 1950, when they initiated this release of the two bacterial strains. Initially, they believed that the exposure would cause no damage in any way. And they had about 43 locations throughout the city to pull that data to see how it was moving around, the bacteria and all that. And it's believed that people may have inhaled about 5,000 particles of the bacteria
God,
over
dude.
the course of
Jesus.
the those next 2 decades. So they did various, research from that point. And what they also noticed was there was a significant infection observed among intravenous drug users in the 1960s, 1970s, and it could be linked to heart valve infections that occurred during the same period at this
Wow.
time. They state that it was just a coincidence that it happened during this release afterward, because again, they're watching the long-term effects of the release in the 1950s between
Yeah.
1960 and 1970s, and they're just stating, oh, it was just a coincidence that this valve infections were these heart valve infections were happening around the same time. They're not linked.
So typically intravenous drug users, if you guys didn't know, are homeless people a lot of the times. So these
Mm-hmm.
people are probably living in, have you ever been to the fucking Tenderloin? It's ghetto as shit. And people, there's needles all over the floor and shit. So people are
Yeah.
just living out there being infected by this weird bacterium, and then they're shooting it into their body, into their blood system. It's going into their heart, causing infections that just happen to be uncorrelated.
Yeah.
Are you able to see if any of those bacterium are carcinogenic in any way? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. The other thing I was wondering is these like stations, you said there's 43 or 47 stations set up around that area where they're going to be monitoring how much ppm is coming in for each of these things that they're spraying.
Mhm.
Is that going to be like a whole lab that they have set up? Is it going to be like a trailer or is it going to be like one little sensor that they're hiding somewhere?
Yeah, so it's most likely going to be like what you said, probably either like a small trailer or a small sensor that's just reading the air, sucking it in
Yeah.
and reading what's in the air.
Yeah, because
That's
like
typically what
we
it
can
is.
do that now, but think about 70 years ago, did we have a little sensor like that that you could just set up like inconspicuously? I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
remember what we talked about previously too, though. Everything that comes out to the public, they've had for fucking 50 years.
True. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. That they could have set up easily something of just like, all right, put this here once a week. Someone go out there and just like pull the data off it and see what
Plus,
it
on the
looks like.
rooftops in San Francisco, like you're not going to notice if
Yeah,
there's like a
that's very
big
true.
box, like a huge giant AC vent box or some shit up
Well,
there that's
I'm
like,
thinking of like you remember in like one of the Spider-Man games, there's all those like
dude, I'm not even
science
fucking recording
trailers.
right now. Oh yeah, I am. Whew.
Oh fuck. Uh, that would have been so bad.
Yeah.
You remember in one of those Spider-Man games, I think it's Spider-Man 2, um, where Harry's mom has like all of the like science trailers set up, and you have to
Oh
go out
yeah.
and do mission. I'm thinking like that kind of stuff where it's like, all right, there's this tiny little trailer set up on the roof here in an alley there, and like all of them are just reading different ppm of these two bacteriums that were released into this area now.
It really could
So
have been.
it could have been something very similar to that.
Could have been. It also could have been. Remember how we were talking about or not Marilyn Manson, Charles Manson in San Francisco? How he was going to like that one drug thing, and that was owned by the CIA and ran by the CIA for MK.
Yeah,
It could have been shit like that too, where they had these
yeah,
like pop up like clinics where it's like
yeah.
come on into the pop up clinic, and they're like testing your blood for these different things and shit. Like we don't even know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it looks like, according to the clevelandclinic.org, the first bacteria, Serratia marcescens, is a bacteria that sometimes causes infections, including UTIs and pneumonia. Your higher, and it does occur naturally in
Oh,
soil.
but causes infections, and it just happened to be that these people were getting heart infections, not correlated.
Yeah.
Continue.
That was it.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. So
Oh yeah. So
it's
yeah, I
proven
mean
that it
they're
causes infections, but
yeah,
they're just
that's like
like, there's no
literally it right
correlation
now.
between the two.
Yeah, respiratory tract
Jeez.
infections like pneumonia, UTIs, eye infections like keratitis, wound infections, abdominal
Wound
infections.
infections because
Wound
they're
infections right there.
intravenous drug addicts.
Yeah.
Infections around your brain and spinal cord, bone infections, heart
Jesus
inflammation,
Christ.
bloodstream infections.
That's it right
Bloodstream
there.
infections
Bloodstream
right there.
infections.
That's it.
Looks like a pink film and can grow in moist environments like showers or toilet bowls.
Or heart
Fortunately, most people
valves.
don't get sick from the S. marcinius growing in their homes or environment.
So we literally just debunked the whole no correlation thing.
Yeah, but
It
if it's growing
genuinely
in your
gives you
home,
infections.
if it's growing in your home, you're not going to have up to 5,000 parts per million that you're breathing in every single day like that. Like
Yeah,
it's,
it's
it's
so
going to be a
true.
lot smaller because 5,000 is insane.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they believed that if they were to disperse it through the air, that it wouldn't cause too much damage because they knew at that time that it probably occurs naturally. It's in the soil. But they didn't take into effect that humans, like for example, those people that are shooting up and that bacteria can get into their blood, causing issues. But again, they say it's just coincidence, not proven
So what it
fact.
sounds like to me is that they were like, all right, we're going to try this. We don't think it's going to do anything. And then they did it and they're like, fuck, we put way too much out there.
Yeah,
We're,
yeah. They're
we're,
like,
we're
damn.
fucking some people up right now.
Yeah. Or maybe it was just it stayed in the air for too long too, because when the air's moist like that, full of like all
Yeah,
that shit's just gonna
nothing's
stick around.
Yeah, nothing's moving around. Because, yeah, it'll get like a little foggy over here, but it's gone by 10 o'clock in the morning. So maybe they were thinking, like, all right, it'll burn off pretty quick. We'll be able to move it around and all that. And then over there, though, it stays all day long. It'll sit like that.
Yeah, it's
We've got
fucking
some friends who live over in that area. And so when we visited them, it's crazy to me that we're just like, we're sitting in fog all day and it's not cold, it's not hot, it's just foggy all the time. She was like, yeah, like it's pretty normal.
yeah, that's fucking crazy. I was trying to see if I had anything else about it, but I don't think I wrote anything else about it. But when it came out, everybody was really pissed off about it. There was like a big ethical thing
Yeah.
when the country found out about it. But yeah, dude. So look, guys, we're not trying to tell you to just distrust absolutely everything all the time, but it's okay to question some things, and it's okay to make correlations because that's how you find facts.
Yeah.
So,
There's
so
literally like if we went off what we were told from them right now in that situation, just be like, well, dang, people really happen to get sick right there, and that's really sad.
yeah,
But we just looked into it and now found that the open wounds and the bloodstream infections that they were both getting are going to lead to those heart valve failures.
yeah, exactly. It's fucking so sketchy. Fucked up shit the government does, guys. Fucked up shit the government does. Uh,
I'm done.